Ladies and gentlemen, success isn't built in a day, it's built every day. Progress is not about luck or talent, it's about discipline, consistency, and the right mindset. If you want to move forward in life, you have to make progress a daily habit, not an occasional event. You see, life doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It doesn't hand out golden invitations to success. It simply rewards those who take action, even in the smallest ways, every single day. The secret to achieving great things? It's in the compounding effect of small, daily improvements. So, how do you make progress every day, no matter what? Every morning, before the world distracts you, decide what matters most. Set a clear intention. If you don't plan your day, the day will plan itself, and usually not in your favor. Successful people don't avoid difficulty, they embrace it. Tackle your biggest, most challenging tasks early in the day when your energy is highest. Small wins lead to big victories. Greatness isn't built overnight. If you commit to the daily process, learning, improving, and refining, you will get to your goals faster than those waiting for the perfect moment. One great workout won't make you fit. One great sales call won't make you rich. But if you commit to showing up every day, results will come. Progress belongs to those who keep moving. Every day is an opportunity to expand your mind. Read, listen, study, and apply. Knowledge without action is wasted potential. Growth happens when learning turns into doing. You can't grow in toxic soil. If you surround yourself with negativity, excuses, and distractions, you'll struggle to make progress. Choose your influences wisely, because they shape your future. What gets measured gets improved. If you don't track your progress, you won't see where you're winning or where you need to adjust. Small steps add up, but only if you know where they're leading. The biggest enemy of progress? Excuses. I don't have time, it's too hard, I'm not ready. These are barriers you create for yourself. Successful people find a way instead of finding an excuse. Motivation is temporary, discipline is permanent. Motivation might get you started, but discipline keeps you moving forward, even on days when you don't feel like it. Even if it's just one small step, make sure you end each day better than you started. One more page read, one more lesson learned, one more action taken. Progress is built brick by brick. Every morning, you're given a gift. A brand new day, fresh and untouched. What you do with it is entirely up to you. Some people wake up and immediately surrender to chaos. They check their phones, scroll through distractions, and let the world dictate their focus. Others take control. They start with intention, clarity, and a sense of purpose. You see, a day without purpose is like setting sail without a destination. The winds will push you in every direction, and by nightfall, you'll wonder why you haven't moved forward. But when you begin the day knowing exactly where you're headed, you take charge of your time, your energy, and your results. Successful people don't leave their mornings to chance. They decide before the day begins what they will accomplish. They set clear goals, they outline their priorities, and they prepare their mindset. Because how you start the day often determines how you end it. If you begin with focus, discipline, and clarity, you set the tone for everything that follows. The difference between progress and stagnation is simple. Are you intentional with your time, or are you just reacting to whatever comes your way? If you don't plan your day, someone else will. The phone will ring, emails will pile up, distractions will multiply, and before you know it, the day is gone. So ask yourself every morning, what matters most today? What are the key actions that will move you forward? What is one thing, if accomplished, that will make the biggest impact? When you answer that question before the world tries to answer it for you, you take control of your own success. You don't need to wake up earlier than everyone else. You don't need a complicated morning routine. What you need is clarity, a clear sense of what matters and the discipline to focus on it. Because once you start your day with purpose, the rest of it starts falling into place. If you want to make real progress, you have to develop the habit of tackling the tough stuff first. Most people avoid it, they push it aside, delay it, and hope it gets easier later. But here's the truth. It never gets easier, and procrastination only makes it heavier. The longer you wait, the more it lingers in the back of your mind, draining your energy before you even begin. The most successful people understand that the hardest tasks require the most focus, the most discipline, and the most willpower. And willpower is strongest in the morning, before the distractions, the fatigue, and the noise of the day set in. That's why they don't waste those early hours on trivial things. They attack the big challenges when their minds are sharp and their energy is high. It's tempting to start with the easy stuff, the small, comfortable tasks that make you feel productive but don't really move the needle. But here's the key. Comfort doesn't create progress. It's the difficult, challenging, and sometimes uncomfortable work that pushes you forward. The things you don't want to do are often the very things that will make the biggest difference. Think about it. Every day, you have a limited amount of mental energy. If you spend the best part of your day on minor tasks, by the time you get to the important ones, you're already drained. But if you handle the biggest challenge first, the rest of the day feels lighter. The momentum carries you forward. Confidence builds. And instead of dreading the hard work, you prove to yourself that you're capable of handling it. The simple rule is this: face the challenge before it becomes a burden. Make it a habit to handle what matters most before distractions and excuses get in the way, because once you conquer the toughest task of the day, everything else becomes easier. Too many people get caught up chasing the result. They dream about the success, the rewards, the destination, but they forget that every achievement is built on the process. The truth is, you don't control the outcome. You control the effort, the discipline, and the consistency that leads to it. And if you focus on mastering the process, the results will take care of themselves. Think about a farmer planting a crop. He doesn't sit around wishing for a great harvest. He works the soil, plants the seeds, waters the land, and protects the crop from weeds. Day by day, he follows the process, and because he stays committed, the harvest eventually comes. The same is true in every area of life. Whether it's building wealth, developing skills, or improving your health, the key is to show up, put in the work, and trust that each small effort compounds over time. The challenge is that most people quit too soon. They put in the work for a little while, but when they don't see immediate results, they lose faith. They think it's not working. But progress isn't always visible right away. It happens below the surface, in ways you can't always measure. The key is to stay committed, even when you don't see the reward yet. Great athletes don't focus on winning a single game. They focus on daily training. Great entrepreneurs don't focus on a single payday. They focus on improving their business step by step. Great leaders don't focus on immediate recognition. They focus on growing their influence over time. When you embrace the process, you take control of what you can do instead of worrying about what you can't control. So ask yourself, am I committed to the work or just attached to the result? If you're only chasing the reward, motivation will fade when things get tough. But if you commit to the process, you develop the discipline to keep going, because you understand that success isn't a single event. It's the result of what you do consistently. Success isn't about what you do once in a while. It's about what you do every day. The difference between those who achieve great things and those who struggle isn't talent, luck, or intelligence. It's consistency. The ability to show up, put in the work, and keep going even when the excitement fades. Most people start strong. They begin a new goal with enthusiasm, ready to take on the world. But after a few days, weeks, or months, their energy fades. They skip a day, then another, and soon they're back where they started. Why? Because they relied on motivation, and motivation is temporary. It comes and goes like the wind. But discipline? That's something you build. And when you build it, you become unstoppable. Imagine a person who only works out when they feel like it. One day they're in the gym, the next day they're on the couch. Will they get results? No. But the person who exercises consistently, even on the days they don't feel like it, will see real progress. It's the same with any area of life, whether it's business, relationships, personal growth, or finances. The small daily actions add up, and over time they create massive results. The key is to commit, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. There will be days when you're tired, busy, or discouraged. But if you push through those moments and keep going, something powerful happens. You develop momentum. And momentum is what separates those who succeed from those who give up. So the question is, are you willing to be consistent? Not perfect, not flawless, but committed to showing up every day and doing the work? Because the people who win in life aren't always the smartest or the most talented. They're the ones who stay the course. One of the greatest keys to success is the commitment to never stop learning. Growth isn't automatic. It doesn't happen just because time passes. It happens because you make a decision to keep expanding your mind, developing your skills, and stretching beyond what you already know. Some people think that once they finish school, their education is over. But real learning begins after the classroom. Life is constantly changing. Industries evolve, opportunities shift, and the people who stay ahead are the ones who keep growing. The moment you stop learning, you start falling behind. The world doesn't slow down to wait for you. It keeps moving, and you either move with it or get left behind. The most successful people are students for life. They read, they listen, they observe, they don't assume they know everything. They stay curious, always looking for ways to improve, because the truth is, your future is shaped by what you learn today. If you keep growing, you keep increasing your value, and when your value increases, so do your opportunities. The challenge is, learning isn't always comfortable. It forces you to confront what you don't know. It pushes you to question old habits, stretch beyond your limits, and sometimes even fail. But that's part of the process. Every new skill, every piece of knowledge, every lesson learned adds another tool to your toolbox. The question is, are you committed to learning every day? Are you reading, listening, and studying? Are you surrounding yourself with people who challenge you to think bigger? Growth isn't a one-time event, it's a daily habit. And the more you grow, the more capable you become of handling life's challenges, seizing new opportunities, and becoming the person you were meant to be. Your environment shapes you more than you realize. The people you spend time with, the conversations you engage in, the information you consume, all of these influence your thoughts, your habits, and ultimately, your results. If you want to change your life, you have to start by changing what surrounds you. Some people struggle for years not because they lack talent or drive, but because they're stuck in an environment that holds them back. They're surrounded by negativity, by people who doubt them, by distractions that steal their focus. It's like trying to sail against the wind. You're putting in the effort, but the forces around you keep pushing you in the wrong direction. Now, here's the truth. You can't always control everything around you, but you can control what you allow into your life. You get to choose who you associate with. You get to decide what kind of information you feed your mind. You get to control what habits you reinforce every day. And if you want to move forward, you have to be intentional about these choices. Spend time with people who challenge you, who inspire you, who push you to be better. Limit your exposure to negativity, the gossip, the complaining, the endless distractions that add no value to your life. Instead, fill your mind with knowledge, your time with productive action, and your circle with people who elevate you, because here's what happens when you change your environment. Your mindset shifts, your standards rise, your energy increases. Suddenly, what once felt difficult becomes natural. You start thinking bigger, working harder, and seeing possibilities you never noticed before. The question is, are you letting your environment shape you, or are you shaping your environment? Because if you don't take control of what surrounds you, it will take control of you. Progress isn't something you guess at, it's something you measure. If you don't track where you're going, how will you know if you're getting closer to your goal? Too many people work hard but never stop to check their progress. They stay busy, but busyness is not the same as effectiveness. The only way to know if you're improving is to track your results and adjust along the way. Think about it. If a pilot takes off without checking his instruments, how will he know if he's on course? If a business owner never looks at the numbers, how will he know if he's making a profit? If someone wants to get in shape but never tracks their workouts or eating habits, how will they know what's working? What gets measured gets improved. Tracking your progress gives you clarity. It shows you what's working and what's not. It helps you see the small wins that might otherwise go unnoticed. Because success doesn't happen overnight. It happens in small, consistent improvements over time. And when you track those improvements, you stay motivated to keep going. Now, tracking doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as writing down your goals, keeping a journal, or reviewing your progress at the end of each day. The key is to be honest with yourself. Are you moving forward or are you standing still? Are you improving or are you just going through the motions? The most successful people don't just hope they're making progress, they know it because they track it. And when they see they're off course, they adjust. They don't wait until it's too late. They correct small mistakes before they become big problems. That's the power of tracking. It keeps you focused, accountable, and always moving forward. The question is, do you have a system to measure your progress? Or are you just hoping for the best? Because success isn't left to chance. It's built on awareness, adjustment, and consistent action. Excuses are nothing more than stories we tell ourselves to justify inaction. They're clever, they sound reasonable, and sometimes they even feel true. But at the end of the day, they do one thing: hold you back. If you want real progress, you have to make a decision. Either you keep your excuses or you keep moving forward. But you can't do both. The problem with excuses is that once you start using them, they become a habit. First, it's I don't have enough time. Then it's I don't have the right resources. Before you know it, you've convinced yourself that success is impossible because of all these so-called obstacles. But here's the truth. Every successful person you admire faced challenges. Every single one had reasons to quit. But instead of making excuses, they found solutions. You don't need perfect conditions to take action. You don't need more time, more talent, or more resources. You need to start where you are with what you have and do what you can. Because when you commit to taking action, something powerful happens. Momentum kicks in. And momentum is far more valuable than waiting for the right moment. The key is to recognize excuses for what they are. Barriers you create in your own mind. You say you don't have time, but the truth is you make time for what matters. You say you don't know how, but learning has never been easier than it is today. You say you're not ready, but no one ever truly feels ready. The only way to be ready is to begin. So the question is, what's stopping you? Is it a real obstacle or just an excuse disguised as one? Because if it's an excuse, you have a choice. You can hold on to it, or you can let it go and take the next step forward. And the sooner you eliminate excuses, the sooner you unlock your full potential. Motivation feels good. It's exciting. It gets you fired up. But here's the problem. Motivation fades. It comes and goes like a breeze. And if you rely on it to get things done, you'll only take action when you feel like it. And that's not how success works. The real key is discipline. The ability to do what needs to be done whether you feel like it or not. Discipline is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. It's the habit of showing up every day, putting in the work and staying committed even when the initial excitement wears off. Think about an athlete training for a championship. At first, they're excited, energized, ready to go. But what happens on the days they feel tired? What happens when they don't feel like practicing? If they only trained when they were motivated, they'd never reach their potential. They'd never reach their potential. But because they have discipline, they show up anyway. And that's why they win. Discipline is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Every time you follow through on a commitment, even when it's inconvenient, you reinforce the habit of discipline. And the more disciplined you become, the less you have to rely on motivation. Now, discipline doesn't mean perfection. It doesn't mean never slipping up. It means having the ability to get back on track quickly. It means understanding that consistency beats intensity every time. Anyone can work hard for a day, but can you stay consistent for a year, 5 years, a lifetime? That's where real success is built. The question is, are you treating discipline like an option or like a requirement? Because motivation might get you started, but discipline is what keeps you going, even on the hard days, even when no one is watching, even when you don't feel like it. And when you master discipline, success becomes inevitable. Every day is a fresh opportunity, a chance to take another step forward. But here's the key. You can't let a single day go by without making some kind of progress. No matter how small, no matter how challenging the day was, you must end it knowing that you moved forward. Because the habit of progress is what separates those who achieve great things from those who stay stuck. It's easy to tell yourself, I'll get to it tomorrow. But here's the truth. Tomorrow turns into next week. Next week turns into next month, and before you know it, a year has passed and nothing has changed. The people who succeed in life aren't always the fastest or the smartest, but they are the ones who make progress every single day. Now, progress doesn't always have to be massive. Some days you'll take big strides. Other days, it might be just a small step. But even small steps add up. A little improvement each day compounds into something incredible over time. The key is consistency. Not perfection, not speed, just a steady commitment to keep moving forward. Some people wait for the right time to make progress. They wait for perfect conditions, for motivation, for life to be easier. But progress doesn't come from waiting. It comes from acting, even when it's inconvenient. You don't need perfect circumstances. You just need a decision to do something today that gets you closer to where you want to be. So ask yourself at the end of each day, did I move forward? Did I learn something? Did I take even one small action toward my goal? Because success isn't built in a single moment. It's built in the quiet, daily discipline of refusing to let a day slip by without progress. And when you commit to this habit, success stops being a possibility and becomes an inevitability. Each day is a gift, an opportunity to move forward, to improve, to build something meaningful. But here's the reality. Too many people let their days slip by without real progress. They start the morning with good intentions, get caught up in distractions, and by the time night comes, they look back and realize nothing changed. The secret to success isn't found in occasional bursts of effort. It's not about waiting for motivation to strike. It's found in the daily discipline of progress. The unwavering commitment to making sure that no matter what happens, you take at least one step forward every single day. Because if you keep stacking small improvements, they add up to massive results over time. Now, let's be honest. Not every day will be perfect. Some days you'll feel strong, productive, and motivated. Other days you'll feel exhausted, unmotivated, or discouraged. That's life. But here's the key. Even on your worst days, you must find a way to move forward. Even if it's just one small step, one decision, one action that pushes you closer to your goal. Because progress isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. Think about a tree growing in the wild. It doesn't grow only when the weather is perfect. It grows through the storms, through the harsh seasons, through the days when the sun doesn't shine. It keeps pushing, stretching, and reaching higher. And because it never stops, it becomes strong, unshakable. That's how success works. You don't just move forward when it's easy. You move forward every single day, no matter what. Now, here's where most people go wrong. They assume that progress always has to be big, that if they don't take giant leaps, they aren't making real movement. But that's not how success is built. Progress comes in all sizes. Some days you'll make a breakthrough. Other days you'll make small, almost invisible improvements. But even the smallest step forward keeps the momentum alive, because momentum is the fuel of achievement. The people who struggle in life aren't necessarily those who lack talent or intelligence. More often, they are the ones who start and stop. They work hard for a few days, then disappear for a week. They get excited, then let distractions take over. They wait for motivation instead of creating discipline. And because of that inconsistency, they never build the habits, the mindset, or the momentum needed to truly move forward. But the ones who succeed, they are the ones who never let a day pass without progress, even when they're tired, even when they don't feel like it. Even when life throws obstacles in their way, they find one thing they can do to move forward. It might be a small task, a single decision, a lesson learned, but they refuse to end the day empty-handed. So ask yourself, what did I do today that moved me forward? Did I learn something new? Did I take action on my goals? Did I strengthen my discipline? Did I remove a bad habit? If the answer is yes, then you are on the right path. If the answer is no, then tomorrow is your chance to change that. Because success isn't built in a day. It's built day by day, step by step, choice by choice. And when you make progress every single day, no matter how big or small, you set yourself on a path where success is no longer a question of if. It becomes a question of when.